It was a significant day in the history of UK steelmaking on the 12th of May 1970 when Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip came to open the Deepwater Harbour here in Port Talbot. On that day, the vessel that was berthing was the Westminster Bridge. It had a cargo of 76,000 tonnes. It was the largest dry cargo ever to berth in Britain at the time. Here we are now on the 2nd of September 2024. An equally significant day as the last shipment of raw materials has been unloaded here at that very same harbour. Now, of course, we had the iron ore offloaded on the 30th of July. Today was the Trinity Island ship brought 44,000 tonnes of coke from Japan, which will be used in the blast furnaces as it runs down to its closure at the end of the month. Now, of course, with the business moving to electric arc furnace-based steelmaking, the need to ship ores all around the world will disappear because we'll be using scrap from the UK only. So it's the last day of the harbour here today in Port Talbot. I'm joined by Area Engineering Manager Mark Powys. Mark, sad day today.
Yeah, it is a sad day, Tim, but obviously it's a day that end of an era, the last vessel in Port Talbot, but obviously then we've got to change with the times and we've got to move forward. So yeah, it is a sad day for all involved, and yeah.
And it is an amazing place, and that sadness, of course, for the people who will be looking for different jobs in the organisation or leaving the organisation. But it's sad emotionally. This place has become an icon of the Port Talbot steelworks, much like the blast furnaces. People will be sitting out on Aberavon Beach and seeing the unloaders here. I know it's only a bit of kit, but we've got some emotional attachment to these things, haven't we?
Oh yeah, the local community, on a sunny afternoons they're down on the beach, they see the ships coming and going, they see the cranes working, they're a part of the local community. They are sort of iconic, really.
Yeah, and whilst they might be iconic, they are absolutely massive. I have to say, when you're up close to these unloaders, they are huge. The guys operating them deserve medals, I think. They operate them in high winds. And we've just been down inside one of the bunkers here. Tell us a bit about, what that's like down there.
Well, obviously you can see now we got a Panamax vessel here with 5 holes. If you just look behind us now, we've lifted a 950 machine out of the hold now. So these machines go in the hold to do the final cleaning, to make sure the ship is empty of all the raw materials. And then, as you can see, that's coming out now. The booms are lifting up. We're getting the vessel ready to discharge and dispatch.
Yeah, and lots of the people we've spoken to today on this last day, lots of people have come, lots of retired employees here have come. Most of the people working here seem to have relatives, fathers or grandfathers who have also worked here. How's today going to be for those guys?
Oh yeah, we've got a few past members, some guys with 40 years service, retired for 20 years have asked to come in today to see this momentous occasion. It's quite emotional, really. They've worked 40 years in one area, and it is very emotional for them.
Yeah, and I guess they should go away with a tremendous sense of pride, because we've said before that, the steelworks could not operate without this harbour, and many thousands of people over the years will have worked here. Do we have any idea, how much ore has come in through this harbour that those guys have unloaded?
Yeah, I think since 1970, I think we've discharged over 300 million tonnes of material. So, that's coke, coal, iron ore, various different grades. So, yeah, that's a lot of material that's passed through here over the years.
It is a remarkable achievement over a long period of time. And I guess if you look now, what happens from this moment on? I guess the ship goes, and then what happens here, Mark?
Right, obviously we've had a busy last couple of months sort of doing our HS1, HS2 and cessation programs. So there's a plan in place now sort of obviously to make the asset safe, ring fence the sites, create it into a CDM site as well.
Yeah, and of course it's not just the harbour, is it? It's not just the harbour cranes. As we look across the site, all of the conveyor belts and the transfer material out there, that's got to be decommissioned as well. It's a hell of a job, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's set out in phases. So obviously the harbour, phase 1, and the raw materials conveyors going out.
Yeah, and it's difficult to look ahead, isn't it, when so much emotion on a day like this for all the guys here. Listen, I'm not going to take any more of your time. I'm going to try and talk to some of the retired guys and get some of their memories. But listen, thanks for coming out today and welcoming us on the ship and down to the harbour to see, as you say, a moment in history, a sad moment in history, but a moment of change.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for coming.